Hey, what's up guys, it's Zach here, and I recently did a recording questionnaire with Dylan Lott from Bandforge on metal guitar recording techniques. So here are some of the most frequently asked questions. Check it out. Really any guitar that has a solid player behind it, good intonation, new strings, clean and hot pickups, I'll take it. I do like the Planet Waves cables. I like to use the expression heavy strings for heavy metal. The lower the tuning is, the thicker the gauge of string you'll want, and this will help keep your strings tight when you're playing. Absolutely. I use and recommend an RME Babyface just because of the quality, portability, robustness, and it's just a solid unit. The drivers are great quality. At the moment, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 looks really good. It's got 2 analog ins, 2 analog outs, MIDI input and output if you need that, and the quality is pretty good. The knobs feel nice. I use Cubase, but it does have a steep learning curve. Logic, I think, is the most friendly pro audio software for beginners. So if you're serious about recording and want to get into it, I'd recommend Logic. This guy called Ryan Harvey did these Catharsis from his studio, impulses, and they're really awesome. Usually a lot if I'm using amp simulators. I'll usually start with the high pass and then the low pass, and then I'll do a bit of a mid-range cut sometimes, and then I'll move up into the upper mid-range, higher frequencies, and start notching out annoying frequencies, the piercing area between 2 and 3K, and then I'll take out the fizz between 6 and 8K around there. Usually 4 to 6 bands is all you want. If you're going more than that, you'll start to eat away at the clarity of the guitars. But I usually find that's a good area to get the guitars nice and focused. I don't compress distorted guitars, very rarely. If I do, I'll put a compressor before the distortion, and this is used to increase the sustain. On the clean tones, I'll use a bit more compression, just because you don't get that natural compression from the distortion, so I want to smooth out the dynamics and make it sit more in your face in the mix. I do use multiband compression pretty often, and this is mostly to control either the pick attack from like 1 to 1.5K or the muddy frequencies from like 150 to 250. If you're going to palm mutes and stuff, I find that you can get a buildup of low end. I'll usually compress after EQing, and this is because that way I'm only compressing the frequencies that I want to compress. Besides that, you can really put it anywhere. Just watch out for your low end going into the compressors. This can trigger the threshold prematurely, and it'll sound pretty unpleasant, usually giving you some sort of brr, brr. My top 3 at the moment would have to be the FabFilter Pro C, the CLA 76, and the SSL bus compressor. I'll throw one more in. The Native Instruments Supercharger is a pretty cool compressor. It's not as nice as the other ones, but it's got a bunch of other features on it, like it's got a tone switch for switching between like bright and warm sounds. It's got saturation, different kinds of saturation from harsh to not as harsh. And then you've got a mix knob so you can do parallel processing, which is great. That way you don't have to set up another track and another compressor just to do your parallel compression. I used to use IK Multimedia's Classic Studio Reverb a lot. Especially the plate sounds. The plate reverb was really nice. It's light on the CPU as well, but now I pretty much exclusively use Hofa's impulse response reverbs, and I still use Cubase's built-in Roomworks just because it's got tons of presets and I like to pick one and play around with that as a starting point. One of my favorites, the reverse reverb special effect, which you can hear on a lot of records where the vocal before the verse starts or whatever, you'll hear it kind of swell up with a bunch of reverb, but it's reversed, and it sounds like a ghost almost, and it's very cool, and it's a very quick way to add some magic to your productions. I will list the steps in the description, check down below. Very dark and powerful, around 1 second long, and then I will put an EQ on it, to really roll off all the low end from like 2 to 400 hertz, just a high pass filter. Then I'll do a low pass filter to take off some of the brightness. I'll roll it down to about like 8K, and then I'll usually do like a mid-range scoop as well. Just anywhere where there's kind of muddiness build up, it can be like low mids to mid-range, I find. but I don't use too much reverb in my metal productions, usually because it takes away from the attack of the instrument. I'll pretty much only use it on snare, vocals after the delay or for an effect, and guitar leads also after the delay or for effect. Drums can benefit with a bit of reverb sometimes, but you just get that from your room mics, right? Hard and wide. If I'm double tracking, it'll be hard left, hard right. If I'm quad tracking, I will have 2 guitars hard left, hard right, and then I'll have 2 guitars 70% to the left and 70% to the right. And usually these 2 other guitars, I like to have a dark tone to them, and then the guitars that are panned hard left, hard right are brighter, so that when you blend them, you get the big, thick sound from the low end, and you get the attack of the brighter guitars. My mixing tip for you would have to be keeping a good set of analog saturation plugins. There's some free ones out there like Camel Crusher. Unfortunately, the website for that is down. I don't think it'll be coming back, so I've put a download link to it in the description. Besides that, commercial ones, Soundtoys Decapitator, SPL Harmonic Saturator, and PSP Mix Saturator. Those 3 are my top saturation plugins, and put them on everything. I mean everything, man. It'll make them sound bigger. It'll take off some of the sterile sound you get from digital recording, and just kind of make everything seem to blend together, help glue all the instruments together in the mix. Alright, that wraps this video up. If you liked it or if it helped you out, which I hope it did, leave a like, that's always appreciated. If it didn't help you out or you didn't like it, then leave a dislike, and that way I'll know if you guys liked it or not. And then I can not do more of these videos, or I can do more of these videos. But anyways, leave a comment in the description with another FAQ video idea, because I want to do more of these. They're very quick to do, and I have a lot of shit to say. So, that's all for now, guys. We'll see you next time.